everyone, I hope you're having a great day. Happy International Women's Day. I'm wearing my vegan warrior princess top to celebrate the occasion. You know, gonna make those gains today, hopefully. Nah, just kidding. Well, hopefully I am, but that's beside the point. And what I really wanted to do is just create a quick video saying Happy International Women's Day to all of my female followers, to all of my male followers, to all of those who have yet to make up their mind or exist in the interim space, the in-between. All fantastic. And let us all spend the day celebrating strong, amazing women, strong, amazing vegan influencers, strong, amazing influencers in general, the people who inspire us in our lives. I'm thinking a lot about my mum, my nans today. Great, strong, amazing women, one of whom is no longer with me, so holding her close to my heart. And the other of whom is a staunch matriarch of the family and just so fierce. Bless my nan who did pass. I remember one of the iconic stories that I was told about her was that when she was angry and when she was fierce and on point and was not taking shit, basically, one time she actually reduced a competitive championship winning boxer to tears with just her words. So that is an amazing, iconic thing to think about. I'm not that sort of fierce person. I'm much more love, understanding, talk to people and wish them a lovely day to get through things. But damn, that's also a nice approach. Just gonna say, a very strong approach. But also I wanted to talk a little bit about, I guess, veganism and feminism. And I'm seeing this come up a lot as a controversial issue. And I don't know why it is. I really don't. To me, it always seems apparent that yes, of course there is an intersection between veganism and feminism. It's always seemed to be the case. I mean, we use lines such as not your mama, not your milk. When we think about cows, when we're advertising what happens to them, we are very much emphasizing that maternal and female relationship dynamic of the mother and the child. So it is immediately trying to tap into people's ideas and ideals of femininity, sometimes problematically as well, because what you're essentially doing there is trying to tie an inherent prioritizing value over the mother and child relationship while dismissing the mother and male relationship, not in terms of the cows because they don't care as much, but in terms of the actual mother cow cares about her child. The adult is not, the male is not involved in the situation when it comes to the dairy industry, so I don't know the relationship dynamics there. I don't want to comment or presume. But what we're harking back to when we are anthropomorphizing and humanizing and creating the parallels to help people make the connections there is we are essentially using a paradigm of the prioritization of the mother and child relationship over the paternal relationship that comes along. So there's something to think about as well in terms of how we use activism, gender dynamics, gender assumptions, and how people view these in order to create and implement the changes that we want and the overall impact that might have. And that's just one thing. That's just one thing. Let's not even mention, we can still stay on cows. I've got the whole milk thing here. We can still stay on cows and say, for example, the fact that dairy in adverts is sometimes pitched with a female cow that is feminized. In the UK, we had Baby Bell adverts where there would be this red female cow. She would be laughing, winking. I think it was Baby Bell. Laughing cow anyway. She would be feminine, very feminine. She would wink at people And in one version where they CGI animated her, she had curves, she was strutting along. Essentially, dairy was sexualized using femininity in order to sell it and to promote it. While meanwhile, the reality of those female animals is one of subjugation, objectification, and forced penetration, involuntary penetration, if you want to stay completely socially neutral. Let's face it, this is just a penetration that the animal is not necessarily fully aware and participating in. And we'll keep it at that, because I know there's been controversy there as well. And yeah, these are issues that are faced in feminism alongside veganism. And the thing is, as humans, we don't detach things easily. So if someone is making, and that's why we have sexy cows trying to promote our dairy alongside sexy women trying to promote other things, and the parallel is complete. And the thing is, if we have an attitude in society, again, still staying on cows, and this is without even branching out, if we have an attitude in society that promotes a system where female individuals, human animal or non-human animal, where these individuals are depersonalized, so they're not seen as an individual, de-individualized, where they are then put into a system, so they're systemized, industrialized on a grand scale. And all of this is done to create a systematic belief in which it is okay to justify the abuse, impregnation, penetration, child abduction, I don't know how you want to say it, taking away of their children, the use of their bodies, confining them, and then using their bodily fluids. Doing this in a repeat cycle. And then when they have run out of the objective use for the purpose that individual has been designated and depersonalized, de-individualized, systemized, killed, then yeah, and if that's all associated with a female, or in some way you are aware that it's a female, but you are also trying to take away any individual aspects of that female in order to try and justify that behavior, that is problematic, not just from an animal rights view, but from a feminist view. And not just that, but making feminism something that envelops all and any gender and sex. It's problematic that the males are considered to be disposable or sperm producing items, and it is problematic that more value is actually placed on the treatment of the sperm that you extract from the males, because that is what is going to impregnate your female, your heifer, if they haven't given birth at that point. It's problematic that that is given more value than ultimately the individualization of the female that sperm is going to go in, or the individual aspects of the male that produced that sperm is actually given. So the product is given more value. And again, the product is sperm. The product is given more value than either the male or the female. And yeah, there's a gender dynamic there. There's an equality dynamic there. This is totally intersectional. And again, we have just stuck to the moo cows here. This is before going into chickens and chicks and the way that male chicks get shredded or killed because they have no inherent value in an industrialized, systemized process. The way that female hens' bodies are used, the way that ducks' bodies are used, the way that pigs are contained and their relationship, their intelligence is devalued. It is all very gender-based as well as animal rights-based. So I really don't see why we don't have this feminist discussion in veganism as well, and why there is such a strong need or desire to divide or exclude the two. More to the point, I am a very strong believer that veganism is about avoiding as much as is possible and practicable the suffering or exploitation of animals. And that includes the human animal. That's me, that's you, that's all of us, that's men and that's women. And that means that we should be respecting each other. We should be addressing all issues. And we shouldn't act as if we cannot have multiple priorities. We might find that some are more urgent than others, and we might find that we can only give so much to so many things, but we should not, in those instances then, be dismissing the actions of those who are working towards the causes that we personally cannot invest in because we are putting our energy into other causes. Everyone who is trying to fight for the reduction of exploitation and cruelty and the increase in respect and compassion for all animals, including the human animal, is an absolute ally, and you should not be putting them down for the tactics they use or for the approach or for where they prioritize their attention. It is all part of the vegan journey, the vegan lifestyle, in my humble opinion. This is just me. But it is all part of it, and it all matters. And as long as we allow ourselves the space to respect that and to keep on our own path at the same time, then I don't see a reason to bash or to criticize someone else because they do find an intersection between veganism and feminism, which again, for me, is a very obvious intersection personally. I say this as someone who has studied animal relationships, animal ethics, human, animal, and animal dynamics. It's my background. It was a strong part of my academic research. I have done too many words and have delved too much into the constructed gender dynamics simply of cats and dogs in the Victorian period and how they actually had a social, economic, and political impact. So I know quite well that the way that we see animals and the way that we use animals and their gender creates dialogues that can enable or in some ways tie into social, political, economic, and cultural changes. They really can. So let's just acknowledge that and allow anyone who wants to integrate that into their veganism to have the space, especially on International Women's Day. That's what I'm going to say. I think that is my musing for the day. I'm going to get on with some work now, and I wish you all the best on this wonderful, empowering, and quite sunny out there day. So do have a lovely one, and don't drink that Nuka-Cola because it is bad for you. And as you can see, tidying up is one of my tasks. So I am going to go now. Love you all. Bye. Mwah.